Hi everyone, this is Selina. Welcome back to one of my videos. I hope you're well. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name's Selina and I release crochet tutorials and free patterns. And today I'm bringing to you this really beautiful granny square cardigan jacket almost. It's so pretty, it's so fun to make. And as you can see, this is a classic granny square cardigan. It is an oversized fit, as you can see, and it's so pretty and easy to crochet. And as always, the free pattern will be available on my blog, selinaveronique.com. The link will be in the description box. So this crochet cardigan that I made is a size SM with an oversized fit, and I will be writing in the pattern, the free pattern, how to crochet a bigger size. So if you want to crochet a different size, just be mindful that you may need to also follow along the free pattern just to make sure that you are crocheting the right amount of squares. So this pattern was, this cardigan was such fun to crochet. I love it. And for this project, I used this yarn, which was so much fun to use, and it's by Yarnspiration Red Heart, and it's called All-in-One Granny Square. So this yarn features lots of different colours that when you crochet it, it forms a granny square on its own without changing colours. So that's why it was so good to use this for this project. I used this colour, I think it's called Black Dove, and I do think it's really good to use this colour because it's such a classic granny square colour to use, and it'll be perfect with so many outfits. And as you can see, it features like a light blue, grey, different shades of grey, and then a cream, and then a black. And what I did is I made each crochet granny square larger by adding rows with this yarn. So obviously I will be showing all of this step by step in the tutorial. And so I used 2 balls of this yarn, and I actually ended up with lots of granny squares. And I did film a video a few months ago that I'll be linking here, where I show you and I test this yarn. So if you're interested in seeing this video, I'll link it up there. And it was so much fun to test this yarn at the time. And anyways, so this is a medium full yarn, which is also known as an Aran weight yarn. It's 100% acrylic and it's 417 yards. It says that 1 ball creates 14 granny squares, but I think I had more than 14 at the time per ball. I think I had about 16 or maybe even 17, but obviously this was just my experience. So I used 2 balls of yarn, and I had more than enough granny squares because I still have some left, and I might create a bag to match. I also used 2 balls of this yarn, which is also Red Heart by Yarnspirations. It's called Super Saver, and I used the black shade, and it comes in 364 yards ball. It's 198 grams. And it's also a medium full yarn, 100% acrylic, in shade black. Obviously, you can use whichever shade you want. These granny square balls of yarn come in so many different colors, and that's what's so fun about it. So you can pretty much use whichever color you want to use. I just thought that this is such a classic granny square kind of color, so I love it. I do apologize for the long intro, but I thought it was so important to just go through everything before starting the tutorial. I also used a 5mm crochet hook, which is smaller than what I would probably use with a medium 4 yarn. However, I think it's recommended a 5.5mm crochet hook, but for me, the perfect granny square, I had it with using the 5mm crochet hook. So again, this could mean a bit of trial and error on your part, but I know I have a very loose tension, and a 5mm crochet hook was perfect to crochet the squares. So yes, so I used a 5mm crochet hook throughout. You will also need a pair of scissors and tapestry needle, and that's it. I will be using US terms with British terms in brackets. I do hope you enjoy this tutorial. Let me know in the comments. I would love to know. Let me know what you think of the colors and if you are going to switch up the colors or not. And yes, without further ado, I'm just going to jump into the tutorial. Okay, so to begin, we are going to be making a slip knot. So just go ahead and create a slip knot and pop your hook through. And now you will be chaining 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And slip stitch through the first chain like so. And this is what we have, and we will be working inside this center. So now chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and this counts as your first double crochet. And now you will be placing 2 more double crochets within the center. So wrap your yarn around your hook, go into the center, pull up a loop. You have 2 loops on your hook. Take your yarn and pull through 2 loops, and take your yarn and pull through 2 loops. And this creates a double crochet. And now place your third double crochet, because the first chain 3 counts as a double crochet. So now we have 3 double crochets, chain 2, and now place another 3 double crochets within this center. And as you can see, I am fastening in my loose end as I go. So just go ahead and fasten in your loose end. We have another cluster of 3 double crochets, chain 2, and now place another 3 double crochets inside the center. And I'm just looking to see how much more yarn I have left of this color. So I don't have a lot, so I'm going to try and adjust my tension. So there we go, 3 double crochets, chain 2, and place another 3 double crochets inside this center. So 1 and 2 and 3. And now to finish off this round, we will be chaining 2, 1, and 2. And as you can see, we've just started the second color. So this is really good and perfect. To finish off this round, slip stitch through the first 3 chains like so. So I'm very happy about how this first round has turned out to be, because the colors are perfect. So now we are going to be chaining 3, 1, 2, and 3. Turn your work, and you will be working through this first space here, and the first chain 3 counts as a double crochet. Go ahead and place another 2 double crochets inside this space, chain 2, place 2 double crochets inside this space, 3 double crochets, sorry, place another 3 double crochets like so. Now go directly into the next space and place 3 double crochets, so 1, 2 and 3, chain 2 and 1, 2 and 3. So I'm really loving this yarn. Let me know in the comments if you love this yarn as much as I do. I do need to adjust my tension as I go though. So next, go into the next space and place 3 double crochets into that space, chain 2, 3 double crochets. Sorry, it's hard to film, adjust my tension and make sure that I'm using the yarn that I'm supposed to be using. I mean the amount of yarn. And now go directly into the next space with 3 double crochets, chain 2 and 3 double crochets. There we go. So I'm not exactly right with my yarn, so I'm going to be going off camera, adjust my tension so that the yarn is used up completely, this colour for this round, so that the colour matches from round to round. I'll just do this off camera and be right back. Okay, so I'm back and the colour matches now. I've adjusted my tension, so I would say that's the only downside of using this yarn, is that you kind of sometimes have to go back and adjust your tension. However, I've not crocheted with this yarn in a long time. When I was crocheting all of my squares at the same time, it was a lot easier, because obviously once I just realized what tension I needed for the squares, it was a lot easier. I hope this is making sense. So now chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, turn your work, and we will be placing 3 double crochets in this side stitch. Obviously this first chain 3 counts as a double crochet, so we will be placing 2 more, so 1 and 2 more double crochets inside this side stitch. And because this is a side stitch, we are simply placing 3 double crochets, and then we are going directly into the next space, which is a corner, and we will be placing 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, because that's what we do in the corners. So just go ahead and do that. So yes, just make sure that you adjust your tension as you go, and then you should be fine. So this is what we have for now. And yes, I hope you're enjoying this. So as you can see, I've placed 3 double crochets inside this space, and I will be placing 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets inside the corner as always. So I find it a bit more challenging to film a tutorial with color changing yarn, just because I'm focusing on the colors changing and it's kind of distracting me a bit from explaining. So please bear with me. I've just placed 3 double crochets here in this space. And now in the corner, I will be placing 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and 3 double crochets inside the space again. So I'm hoping, so how much yarn do I have left? Well, I'm going to let you carry this on your own. Place 3 double crochets in the next space at the side here, and then finish with 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets in the corner, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so I'm back and I've used up all this colour for this round, so I'm pretty happy at the moment with how this is going. I've slip stitched, and now for the next round, chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, turn your work. As always, this counts as your first double crochet, and what we are going to be doing is placing 2 more double crochets inside this space here. So 1 and 2, and now in the corner place 3 double crochets, 1, 2 and 3 double crochets, and chain 2, 1 and 2, and place 3 double crochets again. And now in the next space, which is a side space, and as you can see, as our square is growing, the side spaces are growing too. So in the side spaces, just place 3 double crochets. And I don't know if you can hear, but this yarn is squeaking. So I think this is the first time that's ever happened to me. So it's a squeaky yarn. Fun little fact. So I'm just going to let you carry this on with this round, placing in the next space 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and then in the 2 spaces, which are the side spaces, just place 3 double crochets on their own, and then in the corner space 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and then in the side spaces 3 double crochets on their own, and then in the corners, as always, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and then in the last space on the side 3 double crochets, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so I've gone all the way around, and now I'm going to slip stitch to the first chain, and as you can see, we've got the color changed now. And now for the next round, just chain 3, 1, 2 and 3, and this counts as our first double crochet, and this is the last round for this square. Now place 2 more double crochets in this space, and just go into the next side space with 3 double crochets like so, and just carry on with this pattern as normal. I'll let you carry on your own, placing 3 double crochets in each of the space rows, and then in the corner rows, in the corner spaces, sorry, which obviously you have 4 corners, you will be placing 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets, and then I'll meet you back at the end of this square. Okay, so I've almost finished this round. If I went back, I could make this color work for the whole round. However, we are going to be adding 2 rounds in the black color to each square, so there's no point me battling with this color, if that makes sense. What I am just going to be doing is attaching my black yarn, which I showed you in the introduction, and I bought just plain black balls of yarn for this project, and I'm just going to attach my yarn. I apologize just because black yarn is so difficult to film, so I definitely apologize for that. I'm just going to be finishing this row round, so I'm just going to finish this round. So I just have 3 double crochets to place here, and then I'm going to slip stitch to this stitch like this. This is what we have, and it's absolutely stunning, but for the purposes of this video we are going to be adding 2 more rows. So we will have 3 rows of black yarn in total. So just go ahead, turn your work and add your rows to each square. I'll be popping up on the screen how many squares you need for size S. If you need to make a different size, just pop over to my website. The free pattern is available, and I will have written exactly how many squares you need for each size. So just go ahead and do this, and then I'll meet you back at the end of the 2 more rounds. Okay, so I finished this round, and I'm going so as you can see, and this I'm just going to slip stitch through this like so. This is what we have. I'm very pleased with the result, and just do this for all of your squares, and then I'll meet you back at the end. So I finished all of my squares, and depending on the size that you are making, there will be a different number of squares that you need. Everything is up on my blog, so don't forget to check that out for the exact number of squares you need. This is the front panel. I'll be popping a photo here on the screen just so that you can see, but basically it's 9 squares that I've positioned symmetrically, and this will be our back panel. And now I'm going to show you how to sew the squares together. It's very simple, it's very easy. I'm just going to be doing with my tapestry needle and a piece of yarn. Okay, so I've attached my yarn, and now I'm simply going to be going inside one side and then directly into the other side symmetrically. Obviously it's harder on camera, but just make sure that it's symmetrical, and just go through each go and attach each and every square together. And I'm not going to be I'm just simply going to be doing the 9 squares. I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to be tying a knot and so on and so forth after each square. I'm just going to carry on sewing all the squares together until it forms the back panel. Okay, so this is what I have. As you can see, I've sewed the 9 squares together, and now I'm going to be sewing the back panel, the front panel, directly onto the back panel. So what I mean by this is that, so this is the back panel, and this is the top where the shoulders will be, if that makes sense, and the head. And what I am going to be doing is placing my squares like this. I will be posting a photo on the screen because it will make more sense. I'm going to be placing 3 squares like this. So this is the side, and I will be sewing these squares together, and that will be one side of the front panel, and I will be doing the exact same for this side, so the second side. and nothing will be sewed onto the middle part. So I hope this is making sense. I will be popping a photo onto the screen, like I said, just because it will be easier to sew this directly. So I'm just going to do that, and I'll let you do the same too. Okay guys, so this is what I mean by how to place your squares. I'll be popping a little photograph on the screen too, and don't forget to check out the blog. But this is how I've sewed all my squares together. Okay, so I've showed you how I've sewed all of the squares together for now. It's more difficult to show with this camera. What I am going to be doing is folding the project over. I'm going to invite you to head over to the blog for the different sizes. And this is what we have. So I folded the front panels over and the sleeves. So this is the first sleeve. As you can see, we need to sew the seam at the bottom and then seam this first side. So I'm just going to let you do that, and then once you've done that, just seam the other side, and then I'll show you what to do then. Okay, so I've sewed all the seams, as you can see, and now what I am going to be doing is crocheting the front. So as you can see, there's quite a wide gap at the front. The gap is the width of a square, so it's quite a big gap, and we need to crochet an edging that's going to come and make this gap smaller, if that makes sense. So to begin with, we are going to be attaching our yarn to this corner of the front opening. So I've just attached the yarn. I'm going to take the same hook that I've been using throughout, which is a 5mm crochet hook. I've just chained one. That does not count as a stitch, and I do apologize because it is hard to crochet on video with dark black yarn. So I hope you'll be able to see. I do apologize about this. So we are going to be placing one row of single crochet. So go into the first stitch directly, pull up a loop. You have 2 loops on your hook. Take your yarn and pull through 2 loops, and this creates a single crochet. Now just place a single crochet all the way across this edge, like so, into each and every stitch. Like I say, it's hard to show on camera. Let me just try this out again. Okay, so single crochets all across this edge, and then I'll show you what to do when we reach the top of this this row. So just place your single crochets, and once we reach the top, I'll show you what to do across here. Okay, so I've gone all the way up the first side, and I've reached this part, which is the wide part, and we are simply going to be carrying on with this pattern very simply. Just go ahead and place your single crochets all the way across, and then once you've placed all your single crochets across this part, you will be single crocheting all the way down the other side. So just go ahead and do this, and I'll meet you back after you've done this. Okay, so I've gone all the way down the other side, and now what we are going to be doing is row after row of half double crochets. So obviously I'm going to be going into detail. So to begin, chain 2, 1 and 2, And once again, I'm going to try and make this as clear as possible. And this chain 2 goes with this first stitch here. And we are going to be half double crocheting into the next stitch. So wrap your yarn around your hook, go into the next stitch, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook. Take your yarn and pull through 3 loops like so. Now go into the next stitch with a half double crochet and just place half double crochets all across this all around. So you are going to be going all around the front opening. So just go ahead and do that. Just place your half double crochets over the single crochets that you've just done, and I'll meet you back after that. So I ended up crocheting 3 rows of half double crochets in total. I hope you can see I'm really pleased, and we are not going to be fastening off because we are going to be crocheting the bottom edging. So to crochet the bottom edging, just turn this over however you want, just to make it easy to crochet the bottom edging like so. And I'm just going to zoom in. So to begin, I fastened off and I've had to reattach my yarn, but just please ignore this. Chain 1, and this does not count as a stitch. And now we are going to be placing single crochets all across this row. And to create your single crochets, just as always, just directly pop them into this. One word of advice is that this is what I call the wrong side of the stitches, so you may not have a specific stitch into which you are going to be crocheting, so just be mindful to place enough single crochets across this edge. There is not a specific number of single crochets you need to place. Just make sure that they are evenly spaced, and also just bear in mind that a single crochet row can tighten a project, so just please bear that in mind. And I'll let you place your single crochets all across this edge. Okay, so I've just placed 1 row of single crochets, and once I've gone all across this row, so all across the bottom of the cardigan, I'm simply going to be fastening off. And now I'm going to show you the sleeves. Okay, so to crochet your sleeves, attach your yarn onto the sleeve, take your yarn and so we've just chained 1, and now we are going to be placing single crochets, but our single the difference is for the sleeve we are going to want to tighten the sleeve. So just go into the next stitch with a single crochet. Now skip a stitch and go into the next. Skip a stitch and go into the next. Skip a stitch and go into the next, and place your rows of single crochets like so until you reach the beginning of the round. Okay, so we've gone all the way around, and as you can see, it's tightened up the sleeve. Now slip stitch to the first chain 1 to close off this round, and for the next round we are going to be placing half double crochets. So chain 2, 1 and 2, and this counts as your first half double crochet. And now just go into the next stitch with a half double crochet and just place half double crochets all across this round. and once you reach the beginning, just slip stitch to the chain 2 and just repeat this round of half double crochets another 2 times so that we have 3 rounds of half double crochets in total. So here we go, I finished this project. I'm so excited about the final result. I finished my sleeves. As you can see, I fastened off, and this creates the most beautiful granny square jacket project. I just love it so much. I admit that with these colors, I have stepped away from my usual pastel you know, vibes that I would usually use, but I'm actually really pleased with this project, and I know I'm going to be using this cardigan so much going forward, and it's such a classic project. So let me know in the comments if you enjoyed it, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye.